Note to reader. The following is a transcript of Jesper the Klaun telling the story of his people's secret history and cultural origins. No substantive changes have been made to this transcript, but with Jesper's approval, a few minor grammar adjustments have been made for clarity. The Story of the Klaun. Chapter 1. During the Dark Ages, a colorful tribe of nomads traveled amongst the forest realms, uplifting the spirits of whomever they met along their route. They were a cheerful clan of entertainers known as the KLAUN. Physical expression came naturally to every clown, and they spontaneously danced, flipped, and cartwheeled through their days. An active, jubilant people with bright smiles and kind hearts, the KLAUN were full of beauty and love. The KLAUN had sparkling eyes and round, cherubic little noses that would turn bright pink with exercise or chilly weather. To the KLAUN, the pink nose was a sign of health and vigor. Thus, they would sometimes adorn the tips of their noses with a single dab of red paste to express their vitality. So, wait, that's how the whole clown nose thing got started? That's where it comes from? His eyes dance as he looks up at me.
Oh, we're just getting started, kid.
The KLAUN made and wore simple but well-tailored clothing accented with dashes of color. Many KLAUN would garnish their hair with wildflowers. For special occasions such as ceremonies, elders donned a distinctive three-pronged hat, each prong representing one of the three precepts of the KLAUN: freedom, kindness, and cheer. The tribe's credo was, "Be well and merry." As the caravan of performers arrived at the outskirts of each village along their migratory route, they would cease travel and quickly erect a plethora of brightly colored tents and canopies. Soon, a wealth of tantalizing sights, sounds, and smells emanated from the area, luring local inhabitants to come explore the famous KLAUN Carnival. The KLAUN were renowned for their wildly fun celebrations, and the inhabitants of each land always looked forward to their return. Within each village, little boys and girls would leap with joy upon spotting the colorful wagons. "The KLAUN! The KLAUN! The carnival is here!" Children would shout as they bounded to retrieve their parents and tug them toward the fun. Carnival music filled the air as enraptured visitors joined the festivities. They were delighted at every turn by the KLAUN's acrobatics, juggling, and silly magic shows. While enjoying the theatricalities of their hosts, carnival goers could munch on apples, spiced fig treats, nuts, and berries. Many KLAUN also made and sold beautiful garments, marionettes, crafts, and baubles. And a few times throughout the day, the crowds would be directed toward the largest tent for the more spectacular performances, where KLAUN troupes performed elaborate skits combining physical comedy with stunt riding on horseback and magic tricks. At the end of each visit, each family was so blissfully infected by the contagious merriment of the KLAUN that they would skip and dance together all the way back to their homes. Chapter 2. And so, the KLAUN tribe rambled happily along through kingdoms and seasons, attaining provisions and lighting their audience's hearts with joy. But all along, far to the south of the forest realms, a dark storm was gathering. There, a lavish priest king, adorned with jewels and gold, proclaimed he was chosen by the one true God. This was a vengeful and angry God, and the priest king claimed that this God spoke to him directly, revealing divine will to him alone. This tyrant commanded his ever-growing army to conquer the surrounding empires, announcing,
Subjects, our Lord God has honored me, his most humble servant, with sacred instructions. 'Tis the order of our Lord that we, his people, spread his sacred word and holy dominion far and wide.
the priest king's holy army ruthlessly complied as they captured, tortured, and killed anyone who refused to obey the priest king and worship his God. With unrelenting violence, the priest king conquered kingdom after kingdom, pushing the borders of his rule across the lands. Years passed in this way, and his dominion grew ever greater. In time, his holy army encroached upon the kingdoms of the forest realms. Scores of brave citizens took up weapons and joined their king's armies, making valiant efforts to defend their homes and families. But they were quickly vanquished. Soon, the first kingdom of the forest realms was conquered. Survivors living under the priest king's rule had their spiritual and cultural traditions outlawed or appropriated as he sought to replace their identities with his religion. Traditional music was banned and instruments were smashed. Religious scripts were burned, spiritual totems confiscated, and places of worship destroyed. Conservative codes of conduct and dress, particularly for females, were enforced with brutality. The Klaun tribe were panicked by the invasion and looked for guidance from their two leaders, a pair of half-brothers known as Jobo and Flecky. The pair were born of different clown mothers and were far apart in age, and neither of them had ever known their shared father, who was not of the clan. This fatherlessness had always pained Jobo, so when Flecky was born, Jobo vowed to fill that role for his baby brother. The half-brothers were very close, but also quite different. Flecky was impulsive and charismatic, while Jobo was more contemplative and introverted. Together, they struck a balance which served the tribe well. Flecky believed the clown should respond to the priest king's invasion by joining one of the forest realm's armies in battle. But the gentler Jobo, wishing to keep his people from harm, explained,
We're a peaceful tribe, Fleck. We know almost nothing of real violence. No. This time will pass. Eventually, the kings of the realms will unite and these invaders will retreat. Seasons always change. In the meantime, the best thing for our clan is to stay true to who we are. We will reroute our travels away from the besieged areas and stay within the free lands. We shall continue to perform. Now, more than ever, we must bring cheer and hope to the villagers.
Though a bit of a ruffian, Flecky was fiercely loyal to his older brother and trusted his judgment. So, as he had always done, he worked in concert with Jobo to keep the clan united. Flecky was very persuasive, a boisterous, overbearing, but charming rascal with a big toothy smile. He made the rounds that night and soon had all of the clan feeling rallied and hopeful about Jobo's plan. But Wherever the Klaun caravan traveled, word of the encroaching holy army's savagery had so filled the people's hearts with dread that they were no longer captivated by the Klaun's antics. And before long, only a few separate parts of the forest realms remained free, cutting off the Klaun's migratory path. The two chiefs knew that their tribe had to retreat deep into the forest. "Brothers and sisters, take heart," Flecky told the tribe, "for Jobo has had another vision. We shall retain our freedom, tucked safely within the trees, until this scourge passes." The Klaun were no strangers to the woods, but it had been generations since they needed to survive primarily off the land. As the popularity of their performances had grown over the years, they had become more and more able to acquire all they needed from the provincial markets. Now, though, all of their food had to be hunted and foraged. It was a perilous struggle, fraught with hungry predators, poisonous plants, and dark forest spirits. But with Jobo's wisdom and Flecky's goading, the Klaun were able to adapt, making homes in the forest within their carnival tents. However, the Klaun's notoriety throughout the forest realms was their undoing. For word eventually reached the priest king that a band of nomads had been evading his authority. The tyrant was incensed. But the Klaun's reputation as performers intrigued him as a way to entertain his court. So he sent scouting parties into the forests to locate the hidden tribe. After searching for several days, a trio of scouts finally located the Klaun encampment.
"Who is in charge here? We demand that whoever leads this clan step forth immediately."
The head scout shouted, and Jobo and Flecky stepped forward. The scout barked at them.
"All of the clans to surrender at once. You are both to be taken to our Lord's palace, whereupon you shall vow allegiance to the priest king and the one true God."
Flecky, frightened and outraged, spoke out for the entire clan and refused the royal order. He could not imagine that any Klaun would ever surrender their freedom.
"A clown without freedom ceases to be clown at all. Without the three precepts, a clown does not exist. To betray the first of these, to relinquish our freedom, that would be the end of us."
Jobo firmly supported his brother.
"The Klaun have always sought peace, but we shall never submit to such tyranny. We shall never kneel to your so-called lord. Never."
The whole tribe erupted in cheers of support. The scouts returned to the palace and relayed the message to the priest king. Irate to hear of the Klaun's defiance, he immediately declared them heretics and dispatched his infantry to kill or capture the entire tribe.